also on the front and on the talk of superstars leaving and taking time off. On last night's episode of 205 Live, Hideo Itami had taken on Akira Tozawa, his former tag team partner. They had a good match. Tozawa went over in shocking fashion. I was not expecting that. Itami's been on the receiving end of a renewed push recently. So the fact that he lost was a bit interesting to me. Also coming off the fact that he lost via pinfall at Royal Rumble just 2 days earlier. So that happened. And then he gets pinned again on 205 Live on Tuesday night. And then he got attacked afterward by Arya Daivari. And I'm thinking, okay, do they turn him back babyface? What's going on here? And I'm thinking, like, could he be on his way out as well? Like, why else would they write him out of storylines like that? Come to find out, less than an hour later, Hideo Itami had requested and was subsequently granted his release from WWE. Now, I don't think it's official yet. I think they plan on granting it very soon. Maybe as soon as, even today. As of Thursday, Friday, this weekend, Monday, whatever. Itami, though, I think is indeed done with WWE. Had his final scheduled appearance on Tuesday, losing to Tozawa, doing the favors for him on his way out. And that's it. Itami is officially done with WWE, which I think with him even more so than Ambrose, I'm surprised it didn't happen sooner. He's been with the company now for about 5 years. He got signed to NXT in the summer of 2014. He was a big star right from the get-go, probably the biggest international signing in NXT history up to that point. Their first really, really, really big signing. So he comes in, he became a big star very quickly, and was likely destined to become the NXT champion at Beast in the East of July of 2015. Now, I've told this story a million times before. This is old hat at this point, but he got hurt. Finn Balor took his spot and went on to hold that belt for the next year. Maybe that would have been Itami had he not gotten hurt, so who knows. But with Itami, and the fact that, he never really reached his full potential in WWE. He got hurt, and then he came back in the summer of 2016, well over a year later, about 15 months. Now, to be gone for 15 months is a very big deal, because that's a lot of lost time. And he came back and seemed to be put in a feud with Austin Aries, which was going to be cool. And then he got hurt again, and he was out for another 6 months. And it's like, this guy can't catch a fucking break. And he came back, went immediately after the WWE NXT Championship, lost that, entered a feud with Cassius Ohno, which was good, turned heel, lost that, and then he left, got promoted to 205 Live, and he lost a match to Aleister Black, too, at TakeOver Brooklyn 3, which was an amazing match, by the way. If you're looking for best Itami matches in WWE, that would certainly lead the list, in my opinion. He went to 205 Live. That, to me, was really his last chance to get over, in terms of, like, okay, not all hope is lost yet. He had that one-off appearance on Raw, teaming with Finn Balor against the B-Team. And 205 Live really just didn't do anything. He turned heel shortly after arriving, went after the Cruiserweight Championship, lost to Cedric Alexander, lost again on Sunday's Royal Rumble pay-per-view kickoff show. The guy never once held the belt. He was never going to hold the championship. They just have more people with more buzz around them right now in 205 Live. So why would you go with Itami as the champion? And the guy, ever since he had the GTS banned at the onset of 2018, because he legit broke Brian Kendrick's nose with it, he just has not been the same. He hasn't been the same for years now, ever really, since he came back from his first injury in 2016. He hasn't been the same since then, but, it's really a shame, because Itami could have been a big star for them. Who knows how far he would have gone in WWE had he stayed the course. But let's not forget, he was a part of that Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal back at WrestleMania 31. So back even then, main roster officials had high hopes for him to be a huge international signing and to win all these championships. And just nothing. Nothing. He had the big appearance on the grandest stage in the mall, albeit thrown out by the fucking Big Show in the match. But an appearance at WrestleMania is an appearance at WrestleMania. And they could have gone with pretty much anybody else in that spot. Kevin Owens, Neville was on his way up to the main roster. Finn Balor was a big star. But no, they went with Hideo Itami because he's a big star. And he was the guy they should have gone with, and they did, and he impressed, and he was primed to win the NXT Championship, and then he got hurt. So it's not entirely WWE's fault, but banning the GTS, kind of limiting his ceiling on 205 Live, he probably knew, listen, I'm not going to get anywhere above a certain level in this company, a la Neville and Austin Aries. why don't I just leave and go back to Japan? He clearly misses Japan. He wanted to go back there. People have been asking him for years now in interviews, why don't you just go back to Japan? And it never really seemed like he had an answer for those people, because he knew that it made the most sense to go back to Japan. I think he even wrestled a match or two over in Japan just recently, while with NXT. I don't know if it was for Noah or another promotion, but maybe wrestling back in Japan gave him the itch again to go back to that independent scene over where he grew up in, over in Japan. So I'm sure that played a factor too. But again, disappointing but not surprising. I like Itami, but can't say I'm sad to see him go just because he never really... I don't think he won a single piece of gold in WWE. He might have won one tournament leading up to WrestleMania 31, which earned him the opportunity to compete in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. But beyond that, I don't think Itami ever held a single championship in WWE, whether it be on 205 Live or NXT. So you can't say, oh, he's one of those people that got called up and immediately got buried like the Revival. Yes, the Revival, not really Itami. Because even on 205 Live, that show is also under the jurisdiction of Triple H for the better part of when Itami was there. So it's not even really like, oh, 205 Live ruined him. He just has not really been putting forth the effort, and he didn't really have that same desire and the fire and the motivation that he did even a few years ago. So if leaving back to Japan reignites that fire, then so be it.